Here is a list of outdated Instagram strategies that you don't have to be wasting your time on anymore. What's up everyone, it's Millie. Welcome back to my channel where I post videos every Wednesday teaching you the latest strategies and trends on social media to help you grow your brand. So give a little love tap on that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest tips and tricks I have for you. First, I want to say a huge thank you to this video shoutouts. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So if you want to get a shout out in one of my future videos, be sure to screenshot yourself watching this and tag me over on Instagram stories or leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. As always, timestamps will be in the comments down below because I value your time and you already know why you're here. So let's get into it. First strategy, I hope we all know this by now, but the follow unfollow method. Let's stop doing that. If you don't know what the follow unfollow method is, it's basically where you follow a bunch of people to hopefully get their attention and they follow you back. And then when they follow you back, you unfollow them. Let's stop doing that. We are all just trying to grow on Instagram, and by people trying to get other people's hopes up and playing with their feelings, playing with their heart, playing with their goals and dreams, I'm not gonna stand for it. Let's stop teasing each other, getting people's hopes up and then unfollowing them. We all hate it when we get a bunch of unfollowers and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm losing so many followers. That's because some of y'all are doing the follow unfollow method to try to grow, and it's not good, it's not good. Plus, don't you want people to follow you because they wanna follow you? Not because, oh, they followed me first, so I guess I'll follow them back. Like, you want people to follow you because they want to be a part of your journey and they're excited to press that follow button. You know what I mean? So next is engagement groups. Full transparency, I was in an engagement group 4 years ago, and this is why you should learn from my mistake. I know it may be tempting when you get a DM inviting you to join like-minded people growing their following just like you, but just don't. In case you don't know what engagement groups or engagement pods are, that's basically when a group of people come together in a group message. They're usually within your niche, and you're required to post with each other's content to hopefully trick the algorithm into saying, hey, this is good content. Let's improve the engagement, or let's send this post out. These groups are pointless in so many ways. First of all, it's a waste of time. You spend all of your energy engaging with people in your pod instead of people in your target audience. You could be using that time to engage with people who are following you, or finding new people and engaging with them and nurturing your community. 2, it feeds the algorithm false data about what content you're interested in and who should be interested in your content. 3, it puts an unneeded pressure on your shoulders. You should have the freedom to engage with whoever the heck you want to, whenever the heck you want to. And then finally, when you reach burnout and decide to leave your pod, your engagement will plummet, telling Instagram that your content is no longer valuable, making it even that much harder to grow. I totally understand being in a group chat with friends and collaborating with other creators, but engagement pods are just not it. They're done. Next, borders on in-feed posts. Y'all, we want to take up as much space as possible on Instagram. When you put photos in a border, you're limiting yourself on the property that you own. If you owned 1,000 acres of land, are you gonna build this tiny 500 square foot home? No, you'd wanna use all of the property that you have. So let's get rid of borders on posts. You start using the full dimensions that Instagram gives us to capture people's attention. Dare I say, don't even use 1080 by 1080 anymore. It might just be me, but every time I post a photo that's in the square crop instead of the portrait crop, it just doesn't perform well. I always post my photos in 1080 by 1350 to take up as most space as possible to truly capture somebody's attention when they're scrolling on Instagram. All right, before talking about the next tip of things that we just should not be doing on Instagram anymore, I want to talk about something else that we should leave behind us in 2021, and that is the sounds of gardeners blowing leaves in the background of work meetings. Okay, allow me to explain. How many of you have constant online meetings, whether you're working from home or taking online classes from home, and you're in Zoom, you're in somewhere, and you hear in the background noise, or your dog is barking in the background. Anytime the doorbell rings, lady is yapping up a storm. And every time I want to film a YouTube video, or every time my team and I want to hop on a meeting, the gardeners think it's a perfect day to, you know, cut the bushes right outside my window. I feel like we all can relate with that. So that's why I'm super excited to talk about this video's sponsor, Krisp. Krisp is an AI noise canceling app, basically this magical tool that blocks out 100% of background noises. And I'm gonna hop over to my laptop to show you how I use this within my business so you could kind of see a little more behind the scenes. So this is my Krisp account. You can see they have a freemium plan. I call it the freemium plan because you get 240 minutes per week for free to use with whatever you're using for your meetings. They do have integrations for both Mac and Windows. So this is their Krisp app. Krisp is super easy to use. All you have to do is set it up and it will integrate to your Zoom, which is what I use for most of my meetings. When you create a Krisp account, they will have you do a little recording of your voice. It can identify your voice and cancel out all the other background noises. So that's the first step. And then when you're setting it up, I use Zoom for most of my meetings, so I can directly integrate Krisp with my Zoom account. Something that I love the most about Krisp is that it's for anyone and everyone. You don't have to be a business owner to need what Krisp offers. You don't have to be somebody who's in the professional workspace, going to professional meetings every single day in order to use Krisp. You can use Krisp right now for free using the link in my description below, no matter where you are with life. It just helps bring that crisp quality into any meeting that you go to. It reduces all background noises, so whether your significant other is talking in the background, Krisp will cancel out their background voices, or maybe you have thin walls and your neighbors are blasting the TV, Krisp will be able to cancel that out too. So that way you're not vulnerable, or you don't have to be at the will of other people and the noises that they're making. You can be completely in control of the audio that you're presenting yourself with. So I think Krisp is amazing. It helps so much kind of bring the meetings up to that next level. So again, if you want to try Krisp, they have that freemium plan where you can do 240 minutes free every week. Use the link in my description below, and let's get into that next tip. Strategy number 4 that we want to leave behind us, posting every day. Hear me out here, because this one kind of goes both ways. If you can post every day, then post every day. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying there is this unneeded pressure that people feel that they need to post every day. You don't need to post every day in order to grow on Instagram. You're able to create your own consistency and post whatever that looks like for you. Is that 3 times a week, 4 times a week, Monday through Friday, taking a break on the weekends? To feel like you have to post every day, it's just not it anymore. We don't have to post every day. So that pressure is what we want to leave behind. The strategy and the results that people see from posting every day, it's true. It speaks for itself. If somebody posts a reel every day for 30 days, they'll probably see more growth than somebody who posts reels twice a week. But that pressure that you feel like you have to post every day, just leave that behind you. You don't need that. That's a waste of energy. Let's use our energy into creating great content that we love. If you want to know what my posting strategy is, you can watch this video here where I share with you what I post, how often I post, and all of my Instagram posting secrets. The next strategy to leave behind us is using hashtags in stories. You can absolutely use hashtags in stories for fun, like hashtag no filter, right? But to try and strategically use hashtags to increase your reach, that's just not a thing anymore. Who knows? Maybe it'll change in the future, but right now that's not something Instagram is pushing. If you look up a hashtag right now, you don't even see the stories option. Most people don't see the stories options to scroll through stories with that hashtag. So trying to use hashtags in your stories to increase reach, we could leave that behind us. It's a waste of time. Next strategy to not do, covering up your posts or reels when you put them in your stories. We see this a lot when somebody has a new post or a new reel and they want to share it with their stories. They'll press the share button, put it on their stories, and then they'll put a big GIF or GIF in front of it so you can't see it, or text in front of it where you can't see it. I feel like this is kind of like that clickbait title trend that YouTube did a few years ago, where everybody was like, I bought a new car, and then they like rented a car for a day, you know? I feel like it kind of has that similar vibes, where it was a thing to like cover and then create, what's the word, suspense about, oh, what did I post? What is this post? Click to find out, you know? Like, I feel like that was a thing, but I think at this point, everybody is just like so quick to skip past. Our attention span is very short. So if we see something and it's gonna inconvenient us to go out of our way to be like, oh, what is this? We're just not into it anymore. A lot of people are really loving transparency and authenticity on Instagram. So to hide something up and cover it up behind a text, say, hey, in order to see what this post is, you have to click and go check it out. I think we all just, at this point, we'll see it, we'll support it. If we like it, we see it in your stories and it's like, love that, I will click and I will go engage with it because I love it. And on top of that, covering up your reels might actually get people to skip past your stories faster, telling Instagram, hey, the viewer retention rate, like how long they stayed on your story for, that viewer retention rate was low, so that story is not important. If you leave your reel uncovered and people watch your reel all the way through in your stories, 1, you get those views, and 2, it tells Instagram, hey, this is a great story. People are watching this story all the way through instead of skipping forward. So you get like double boosts, you get the views and you get that extra oomph from Instagram when it comes to like the stories algorithm, telling the algorithm that, hey, this story is good, let's push it out to more of their followers. Next strategy to leave behind us is using periods to space out your captions. Remember the days where you would write your captions and then you'd try to like space it out and then you post it and then Instagram wouldn't let you space it out. It was like all mumbled together. And so you had to use this app or this website where you put your Instagram caption, generate spaces, and like it generates the spaces for you. Or in order to do the spaces, you have to do the periods. And then this was a big deal because this was back in the day when we believed you weren't allowed to edit your caption or else it decreases your engagement, you know, which by the way, that's a myth. You can edit your caption. It's not gonna mess with the engagement. But yeah, remember those days? Good times, right? Well, Instagram has upped their game a little bit and you can now space out your captions like a normal human being with the return key. It's that easy. We don't need to put periods, dots, emojis, what have you, in between our paragraphs in order to space out our captions. It's just not needed anymore. Another strategy to leave in the past, please, is tagging a million people on your posts, especially if it's like unrelated. This used to be a strategy maybe back in when I was doing portrait modeling. So that was 2017. When I was doing portrait modeling, in order to get your post seen by more people, you would tag a lot of larger creators within your niche. So if I wanted my photo to get featured on those big portrait accounts, I would literally go to tag my post. I would tag 20 accounts like portraits, people's portraits, San Diego portraits, like tag a bunch of accounts that were portrait people, and in hopes that it would capture their attention and they would repost it or they would share it on their stories, or I don't know, so that it would go into their tagged posts column and then my post would be seen by their followers. You know, like that was a strategy, hence it was a strategy. That's not a strategy anymore. It's relevant to tag people like, if this shirt's from somewhere, Forever 21, what? PacSun? I don't remember. Rip Curl? This shirt's from somewhere. I'm gonna tag the brand because I want them to know, hey, I really actually love your stuff. I'm gonna tag you because it makes sense. Or if I have my desk and I wanna tag whoever made the desk, I could tag them, that makes sense. But to tag a bunch of other larger creators who you're trying to reach their audience, it just doesn't really work anymore because one, me as somebody who's on the receiving end of this, where I get a lot of people tagging me randomly in posts, like not even stuff where it's like giving Millie credit for like her video or Millie taught me this. Like I get tagging me and stuff like that. I love seeing stuff like that. But for somebody to tag me in an acai bowl and they're like, happy Saturday. I'm like, why you tag me in this? Also, it's not gonna reach my audience because as a creator, I have full control over what posts get seen in my tagged section. I literally get tag requests and I can go through all the requests, approve or not approve posts, and the ones that I do approve, people can see that on my feed. But if you're tagging me in random stuff, it's not gonna go on my feed. It's just not. I'm not sure how this is beneficial for some people. I've never really seen results from this, except back in the day when I was doing the portrait modeling and like an account would see the photo and be like, oh yeah, repost, let's post this to our page. That would happen sometimes, but nowadays I don't see it happening. There aren't many repost accounts and yeah, it's just not a thing. Comment below if you've heard any of these tips or if any of these tips shocked you, like maybe you're still doing it and you had no idea it was old news. Let me know in the comments below, or even if there's other strategies that you've heard and you're like, let's leave those behind us. Let's start a thread or something of all of the tips that we need to leave behind us. Let me know in the comments below. If you've made it this far and you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hug that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss when I post my videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Follow your joy. Bye.